Free Daniel Ferrer Garcia now. A prisoner of a man who's fighting for his freedom in Cuba. He was kidnapped and is being tortured in the infernal prisons of Cuba. I'm going to show you another announcement from a friend of mine from Mayagüez, who has a company that sells electrical equipments for like generators, electric generators, and electric coolers, in case you want to go to the beach. And let me show you one of the coolers. There's a whole bunch. I'm just going to do this one day by day. His name is right here. He's in. This is in Puerto Rico. His name is Andres Ramirez, Dr. Tech, Mayagüez Mall. You have to look up in the internet. I placed it in my blog, which is Eduardo Rodriguez, I Pledge Allegiance to the Flag. There you can see it's an electrical cooler, and it lasts a long time. So you can find out more information about this cooler by contacting him through the internet. Like I said, up there I put down the information, and if you go to the internet here in Puerto Rico, this is here in Puerto Rico for those who are interested in this type of cooler. You can contact him and find out more information about these type of equipment that he has. He got all kinds. He got many more types. So just contact him. He'll let you know. So let me start off with the news. I already gave out the epitaph for this friend of mine. Remember, every time you're going to buy an equipment like this, like I just showed you, make sure to ask for the guarantee. What's the guarantee on this equipment? How many years? See if it's a good quality, he's going to give you a good guarantee. If it's not a good quality, you think it over. It's up to you if you're going to buy it or not. I'm just trying to help him out. But then the reality is, if I would buy something like this, I would ask him, what's the guarantee? How many years? Or can I put a guarantee on it? Can I extend the guarantee? Another question you could ask. Okay, well, let me go to the news now. Like always, start off with Islam. Kenya. This is in Kenya. Muslims murdered 2 Christians when they could not say the Shahada, the Islamic profession of faith. This is the religion of peace. And they're here in the United States. As a matter of fact, later on I'm going to go with that one, but they were given permission, or the state granted them permission to scream out. How you call it? Let me read it out. I got it here, but I'm going to read it further down because I just can't say the words. I can't remember the words to say here. Oh yeah, this is New Jersey. Let me go to this. Yeah, right now I'm going to go to that news. Paterson, New Jersey. This is in Paterson, New Jersey. Right here in the United States. Here in the United States. Paterson, New Jersey City Council ordinance will allow Islamic call to prayer over loudspeaker. So that means if you're sleeping early in the morning, Allahu Akbar, screaming out loud, and you can't say a word, and you can't complain, you can't call the police, hey, look, they're disturbing the peace. They have the right to scream it in your ears and spit on your face. If you're Christian, they're spitting on our faces with the permission of the governor of the state of New Jersey. Can you believe this? Well, that's up to the voters. You want that, that's what you get. That's what you get. And be careful they don't stab you in the back. Just like they did with the other one I just finished reading. Just because they couldn't pronounce the prayer, they were killed. They were killed. So, you be careful what you ask for. You might get it. In other words, they're trying to tell us either you convert or you die. They're saying it right out there, and they keep multiplying. They're like roaches. They multiply, like the German roaches. The only way of getting rid of this nightmare is just removing them from society, sending them back, all of them. I'm Islamophobic. Yes, you're damn right I am. I don't want this plague in my country or nearby my home. Here's another one. I put down Francistan. This is in France. Like Afghanistan. France, 129th attacks reported per day. This is per day, linked to mass Muslim migration. What other reason is going to be about? The only people that are doing this are them. But Macron is permitting it. It's your fault that you voted for Macron instead of voting for Marie Le Pen. I think her first name was Marie Le Pen. You had the opportunity right there to get rid of this nightmare, but you decided to vote socialist. There you go. You got it. Now you got to swallow it. You can't complain. You can't complain. Another one. Former armed forces trainee converts to Islam, plus jihad massacre at military base. I really think I talk about this guy. Let me put it down again so you can see that face. He looks like Satan himself. That's what they're teaching in this mosque. To kill, mass murder us. And we're letting them in here. And then you have liberals. What really boils me up is you got liberals defending them, like Michael Moore. Oh, we are Islam. This fat. I wish if anybody was attacked, it would be him, Michael Moore. See what happens then. See if he has a change of mind, or maybe one of his loved ones attacked by one of these piece of filth. Now this is from I was put down the last one from the Religion of Peace. New York Times runs up by Taliban. I don't know why they should have put down runs operation by Taliban, but they put up by Taliban. Jihadi wanted for questioning in connection with jihad murders. This is the guy. He's such a coward, he had to cover himself, just like a woman. Okay, now we'll go to the United States. This is a video I want to show you guys. This is a tremendous video. This is by Don Bongino. Bongino is just great. He's one of the best media sites, videos that I watch during the morning. Every time I'm going to hear somebody, I start off with Don Bongino if necessary. And sometimes at night, so I won't miss him in the morning. Sometimes when I'm throwing the news, the problem I have by doing the news and hearing him, sometimes I can't concentrate and I miss everything he's telling us. But thank God this time I paid a lot of attention and it was tremendous. I'm just going to give you a message of what he says in this video. I stopped it right at the point. I'm not going to put the whole thing because it lasts more than an hour. Okay, let me see what happens here. Oh, God. Well, anyway, it's no problem finding him because okay, it doesn't want to cooperate. I just go to Dan Bongino again. There you go. I got it right here.
What happened yesterday? Don't buy into this. This is
Listen to
just
this.
like the Freddy Krueger of Russia hoax sequels. They're terrified right now, and they need to have a reason to lose the election because they're going to lose at this rate.
It's going to be short. Just this little piece I want you to hear.
James Woods, you know the actor James Woods, he's back on Twitter. For those of you Bernie bros out there again who have a problem with this thing called, you can actually see it. He did some math. So $15 an hour minimum wage, Joe, by a 40-hour work week means you make $600 a week. Fair enough? Times that by 52 weeks a year. If you get Bernie's $15 an hour minimum wage, you would make $31,000, $31,200 per year. He goes on, James Woods. He says, okay, so under Bernie's minimum wage, you're going to make $31,200 a year. Great, everybody's celebrating. Minimum wage, free money, great. So he says Bernie Sanders wants free health care for all and was asked how he would pay for it. His answer was to raise taxes to 52% on anybody making over $29,000 per year. Well, let's do the math. 52% of the $31,200 you make under Bernie's minimum wage equals $16,224 in taxes. So if you subtract that amount from the $31,200 you'd be making under Bernie's minimum wage, you're left with your pay being $14,976. When you divide that by 52 weeks, that means you make $288 per week, which means you'd be making below minimum wage right now, which is $7.20 an hour. The minimum wage is $7.25. So, I think of this. James, hat tip, my friend. I'm slightly envious. I did not think to do this math earlier, but good content is good content. Hat tips are hat tips. Wonderful. See, when you're dopey and you don't understand that there's no money fairy and that what Bernie Sanders is promising you to be free healthcare and college has to come from a tax pool that has to be paid for by taxpayers. When you don't understand that, you believe things are actually free. When you're sane and rational and you're not a Bernie bro, and you start doing basic math and you figure out that the government gets its money from you, you figure out that Bernie's plans are actually going to cost you a salary, they're going to impose on you a salary below the federal minimum wage now. But again, don't let that basic math get in the way of your argument that, hey man, feel the burn, brother. All excited about the Bernie bros. Please make that tweet go viral.
I love Joe. He's great.
Go to Twitter.
And James Woods is great too.
Woods. Go to that.
You know, I wish I could have got a video of James Woods explaining that too. But hey, Don Bongino did it. Don Bongino, you're great. You're the best. One of the best. You got him. You got John Miller. You got I used to hear Michael Savage, but Michael Savage got to the point where he didn't want to please the public by going directly to the news that the public wanted to hear about. And, you know, it was all about himself, his books and all. You know, I said, wait a minute, I stopped. And I went to other sources. And then I found Dan Bongino, which I like because I used to see him on Fox News debating with this other nutcase liberal, which I forget his name, Hans. His name is Hans, Christian Hans, or something like that. I just don't remember I don't know if I said the name right, but this Democrat that he would debate, you know, he would tear him apart. And the guy, you know, he's just great at debating. And I wish he ran for some position in politics because he's just great. He's just great. His knowledge and his intelligence is so great that he would just tear these Democrats apart. I know Trump is great too, and the guy's a genius. I just hope he sees Dan Bongino show because it's convenient. It's a convenience to him. Because if he gets to debate with Bernie Sanders, which I wouldn't doubt, Donald Trump will destroy this communist lunatic, Bernie Sanders. He could use that argument too. And no, and it would be worse because I'm thinking about it because I'm under the I do a Spanish video where I include news from Cuba, Venezuela, and it would even be worse because where is Bernie Sanders going to get the money to pay the professors? They're not going to look. There's not equality in communism because professors from universities they get paid a lot better, if you want to call it better, which is $26 a month. They can't even buy a bicycle. They can't afford to buy themselves a bicycle. You see them running around in these, like a doctor, going down the mountain in one of these wooden crates with wheels, with no motor. They call it chivichana. I wish you could see it. I should I should find a video on that and show you the doctor, a female doctor with her white how you call it, their white uniform that they use, going down the hillside, because it's only good for going down, because going up you got to walk, unless you can find some type of transportation. You got to walk up the mountain, and if they send you, you got to go. And the other, so and the only brakes they got is just simple types of brakes that you use with the wood to try to stop the wheel. And if it hits a gravel full of oil or something, forget about it. The doctor's gone. And if there's a cliff on the side, you're going to go down the cliff with the whole wooden transportation, if you could call it transportation. It's something the kids used to make. When I was a kid, I remember kids used to make from milk crates, wooden milk crates, which is no longer, now it's plastic. But in the days when I was a kid, I remember seeing that. And kids would have a lot of imagination. But there in Cuba, you can't afford to have a lot of imagination because there's no money, there's no, there's no abundance of material. You see this guy who has a factory in Cuba where he makes these transportation from wood, and he says he makes it out of rustic, simple wood that he finds. Because the guy can't afford to buy anything. There's no money to be made. There's nothing. The government doesn't give you the opportunity of advancing or producing. You have to come out with your own without nothing. So it would be worse because Bernie Sanders would hurt, because they're gonna be people complaining no matter what kind of a brutal oppression he would plant on us, because he's gonna do it. The guy is evil. He's a monster. What happened? He has we haven't awoke, the liberals haven't awoken him up by placing him in power. But once he's in power, Joseph Stalin, murders and mass murders, people dead by the millions, guaranteed. And people would be anybody who protests, they would send to type of like they were requesting, one of Bernie Sanders' staff, create a gulag where they would murder people. They accept it, and they're saying it. These young, dumb idiots that don't want to listen, that's another point. But if you think you're gonna get free stuff, and it's gonna be a paradise, you got it all wrong, buddy. You better watch these videos on the bloody history of communism and what's happening in Cuba by going to Paco. And there's a whole bunch of information about what's communism all about. You should hear the videos of those who fled North Korea. One of them lived in a concentration camp where you're put into a concentration camp if you're found guilty with the whole family until the third generation, if you survive the first, because those concentration over there are just deadly, no way to put it. He survived by some miracle, but he managed to escape. He came to the United States, and he was just destroyed. His nerves were destroyed, and the guy is just totally a wreck, where sometimes he just doesn't want to see nobody or talk to nobody. So you should see what's happening in these countries. What happened in Cambodia with Pol Pot, or Mao Zedong, a great revolution, where millions were killed, over 60 million. So if you think you're going to survive just because you're a communist and you support Bernie Sanders, kiss your ass goodbye, because it doesn't work like that. They will kill you on the drop of a hat, no matter what, even if they don't like you. You got people who supported the communist regime of Cuba, and they're suffering. They're suffering. Their pension. If you don't believe me, go to the videos. See if you can get a video that's translated in English, where you see them saying, "Oh, I only get the average in American dollars, $4 a month." They have to choose where they're going to buy food to eat to survive, if they can afford it, and how much is going to last. Because with $4, I doubt they're going to buy much food. Between that or buying clothes, or it's just a nightmare, freaking nightmare. I don't know how they do it, because I see them with clothes on. I don't know how they get their clothes. But you see them with old raggedy clothes. They're not dressed real nice. You could tell that they're going through hell. They can't even buy soap. There's no soap anyway. Right now, there's no soap in Cuba. That's what Bernie Sanders is going to do to you. He's going to ruin a production. He's going to ruin everybody who's a business owner. He's going to expropriate everything. Everything is going to belong to the state. And guaranteed, everything is all production. Everything that you know now as Nikes and sneakers and Walmart and Target and all these famous stores and fast food restaurants, Kentucky Fried, Church Chicken, Chili's, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. The people are going to just pack up and try to flee from the United States. And if there's a wall built, if Trump managed to build that wall to avoid people from coming in, then that wall is going to be used to avoid from people fleeing. And what they're going to do is they're going to put guards in the front in these borders, and with orders to shoot people who try to flee. Because then Bernie Sanders is not going to have the privilege or the benefit of having these people that are producing or doctors or scientists fleeing the country, because he's not going to be able to afford it. But then he's going to force them into slavery. Because, you're going to stay here or you're going to die. Go ahead and flee. And then when you're trying to flee, they're going to kill you, like what happened in the ex-Berlin Wall. People were killed fleeing, jumping over. They were shot dead. And if you don't believe, there's movies on it. There's a movie about people who managed to flee I really don't, the Berlin Wall. I don't remember now. Is it the West, the East, or I think it's the West Berlin or North Berlin. North Berlin. I don't remember. Or East Berlin. It could have been the East Berlin to the west. Which now that my memory is helping me a little bit. But there's a whole bunch of movies. Ignorance is not an excuse. You can't say later on, if you wish you never voted for Bernie Sanders, when he's already placed, there's no turning back. Forget about it. You can just kiss your ass goodbye, because that's it. That's the end of you. You're going to have to eat it for the rest of your life, unless you can flee one way or another. And if you don't have a great profession, like you're not a doctor or you're not a scientist, you're not going to be able to flee to a country and say, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm just a laborer and I'm just fleeing because I hate communism. Oh, yeah, you got to go right back. Huh. And you know what's going to happen to you? They're going to send you to a prison. They'll probably execute you. Just simple as that. So you better think about it before it's too late. Better think about it, because all this free stuff is going to cost you. Don Bongino said it right, but it's going to be worse because then Bernie Sanders is going to have to come up with the money to pay. Like I said, there's no equality in communism, even though it's supposed to be equality. Everybody sharing the same amount of misery. No, well, it's all misery. Well, in one way, it is true, but then they're going to be a little bit slightly better off than those who are receiving $4 a month. Like an architect, $26 a month, or a judge, $26 a month, or a college professor, $26 a month. Now you figure out what you could do if you're a professor and you're proposing Bernie Sanders as president of the United States. If you can live on that, if you can live on that, well, go ahead. Go for it. Who knows? You might love it, or maybe you're masochist. Let me go on with the news because yesterday the video went like about an hour, and then it cut off on me. So let me see how fast I can go today. I'm going to try to do the news anyway. The hell with it. This got to be known. People got to know what's happening. So let me go back to the news. Another guy I would like you guys to hear, and who is great. The guy is great. Is Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum. I post him on my blog. So like I said, you can go and access the video. What happened is his video lasts a little bit longer. And I'm just saying, if you want to hear him, just go. You don't have to go to my blog. You could just go on YouTube and put down Brandon Tatum. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Or Tatum. This guy's real good. He's good. He's an ex-cop. He went to college. He finished, I think it was a master's degree he was talking about. This guy's intelligent, very intelligent. He's been on the news. He's been on Fox News with Laura Ingraham and other guys, other people that interviewed him. And this guy's real great. So, if you want to hear something good, listen to him. Dan Bongino is great. What happened to his site, his videos, they last long. So that's why I can put them on. Unless I hear one point that's just super, super duper important, like the one he talks about the numbers, getting out numbers that James Wood came up with. And it's true. Those are the true numbers. But it'll be worse. Because not everybody's going to receive the same pay. So Bernie Sanders is going to say, well, I got to cut here and I got to cut there so that these people can receive this. And when it comes out, you'll see people dying on the streets of hunger, falling dead, lack of medicine, people that suffer from the heart falling dead. That's what happened in Cuba and Venezuela. People, because of lack of medication like lisinopril or other medication, artemether. I don't know if it's the same way in English as it's in Spanish. These are medications that I receive for my high blood pressure. And without it, I would probably have a heart attack or a brain hemorrhage. And that's what would happen to a lot of us. We would start dropping dead like flies. And the communists won't care. They don't care. You dead? Okay, just put them away. One more. Let's bring another person who could take his place. They don't care. These people are evil. Well, they want babies dead up to the age of 3. To abort them to the age of 3. I think it was, I heard, these people are just the devil incarnate. They're murderers. And you want to vote for Bernie Sanders, who's in favor of abortion? Maybe even up to 3 years of age. Maybe he agrees with it. They're all murderers. Pelosi, all of them, the now CPUSA. Maxine Waters, listen to this, what she says. Crips and Bloods in the hood have more integrity than Trump. This is coming out of this witch. That's Maxine Waters. She's a deranged, evil entity from hell. Democrat who can't take care of San Francisco, where she lives at. It says is a dump. It's a dump. And she has a wall surrounding that dump. I mean, she has a wall in her property, so she won't have to see the dump or secure the destruction that's secure around her. You know why? Because she's a communist, and the communists all do that. They don't care. They don't care how the situation deteriorates as long as they're okay. As long as their corruption ain't exposed and they don't go to prison, they don't care. And from what I see, that none of them are going to prison because nothing is being done. Hillary's not in prison. Pelosi is not in prison. Joe Biden is not in prison. Maxine Waters is not in prison. But Roger Stone is in prison. A man who's innocent. Well, I'm going to come up with that one too. Let me just keep on going. Oh, here it is. This title, I wrote it myself. The most evil, corrupt judge in U.S. history. Crazed demon judge. Amy Berman Jackson, the name for a royal demon, lied repeatedly during sentencing. Says Stone threatened her, should be in prison for 9 years. Roger Stone, a man who doesn't, an innocent man, completely innocent man, Roger Stone. But you know what's happening here is a communist conspiracy against the conservative movement. Just like they do in Cuba and Venezuela. They'll accuse you of so many things. They'll say that you're a murderer, that they'll put everything they can place on you, even though it's not true. And it'll stick to you. And then they'll imprison you for that reason. And they'll impose the maximum, just doing the same thing. This judge is a communist. She's doing the same thing. She shouldn't be a judge. Maybe she could be a judge in a prison, a maximum prison as an inmate, belonging a judge to some gang. While she's in prison as an inmate, not as a judge, but maybe the judge of a group of organized crime inside the prison. She can mete out judgment against anybody that violates the rules of the organization, the criminal organization inside the prison. Trump confident Roger Stone was sentenced Thursday in a Washington, D.C. court in front of controversial far-left judge Amy Berman Jackson. I'm not going to read more about it. It just blow my blood pressure to the roof. And she's a judge. Listen to this one. Parents outrage after Baltimore County teacher shows unhinged lesson slide comparing Trump to Nazism and communism. Trump, a conservative, Republican. They could compare him to a Nazi and to a communist, when they're the ones that are communists. You see, it's like the saying, they learn it from their own criminal past by watching these films on Nazi Germany, where they would say I remember the guy in charge of propaganda. I'm trying to remember his name. I forget his name right now. The short guy. He was a real short guy. Oh my God. Well, the point is, he would say, always accuse the opposition of what you're guilty of. I'm trying to remember his name. I was very good at memorizing names. My memory is just failing me a lot. But I forgot his name. Let me. The communists here in the United States are doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're trying to destroy this country by accusing all those that are denouncing their fraud and their corruption, their crimes. Roger Stone spent many years denouncing and their crimes and the things they did against this country. And now he's paying the price just for that. That's only the reason. They lied from right to left to destroy him. I hope, Trump, you can pardon this man. This man is a great man, a great conservative. He does not deserve to be in prison. Who deserves to be in prison is the judge. the judge. She should be in prison. Couple arrested after driving kids with Trump flag on their bicycles. So now you can't express your feelings in favor of Trump because they'll arrest you. But you could put one of maybe drive around with a flag of a terrorist, and they'll accept it. But if you put one of Trump, or you put something that says MAGA, they'll arrest you. Boy, do I wish they would deport this lady. This lady, together with Rashida Tlaib, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, is Ilhan Omar. She should be deported. What's she doing here? Now she's complaining because they're smearing her. But she's the one who asked for it. Her corruption, her crimes, wants that, wants people, to denounce her. New evidence emerged in September that Representative Ilhan Omar did indeed marry her brother, and that her real name may actually be Ilhan Noor Saeed. There she is, I think with her brother right there. These people are deceiving us from right to left, and they're getting away with murder. What she's doing in the position of government, a lady who's committed fraud and corruption. And you know what really bungles my mind? She's not in prison. She hasn't been deported. She's still here. She's enjoying the fact that she's getting away with murder and how stupid, our system is. When nothing. She's charged with nothing. She's not deported. She's not arrested, and she keeps getting away with murder, with crime. Hoax confirmed. Zero evidence to back up claims Russia's trying to help Trump win in 2020. No intel, no phone intercepts offered to DNI. But there is proof with the Democrats. Just to make that a point. Miracle on ice. Incredible. U.S. miracle on ice. Hockey team joins Trump on stage at Vegas rally on their 40th anniversary, all in CAG hats. I love it. I love it. I hope he wins again. I just hope to God, I pray every day he wins again and destroys the Democrat from right to left, including Bernie Sanders. Nearly half of U.S. homeless people live in one state, California. And I was there not too long ago. I was there last year in May. I went to visit my son. But then I went to California to take my wife to the base where I took one of my trainings, which was in Hendersonville in San Diego. And I saw homeless people. I saw tents. I said, look at this. You know where I saw tents? Even in Washington, D.C. Because I ended up in Washington, D.C. too. We saw it. I told my wife, look at this. Even my wife noticed. I think she was the one who first told me, look, tents here too. Right in the city, right in the middle of the city of Washington, D.C. Okay, well, thank God I wasn't cut off today. Well, this is it for today. Thank God I wasn't cut off, like I say, and every day I pray for you, Donald Trump. God bless my country eternally. God bless our Constitution, our freedom. And Donald Trump, I also pray for your family, and I also pray for Israel. And I was put down. I stand with God and Israel eternally. I also pray for my island of Puerto Rico, where I live at. I was born in New York, but I live here with my wife. I've been married to for 43 years. I love her dearly. I miss being in the United States, but you know, since I married my wife and she's from here, well, I'm stuck here. But I love her dearly. I can't, you know. Maybe someday if something happens here in the island, I would leave and go back. I say, you want to follow me? You can go follow me. I'm not going to live in an island where we'll be destroyed by the extreme left here in Puerto Rico. And plus, I was born over there, so if you want to go follow me, you can follow me. No, you know, it's up to you. It would hurt. It would destroy me. But hey, that's a decision you would have to make. But I'll be back again. If God permits, maybe tomorrow, who knows? Depends. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.